What's up YouTube, Breakup Brad here, and today I'm going to be answering one of the most common questions that I get from clients and viewers like you. And that question, of course, is why your ex is giving you the hot and cold treatment. This is very common after a breakup, and in this video, I'll explain why your ex is sending you these kinds of mixed messages and what it really means. Now, let's start by clarifying what I mean by the hot and cold treatment. Basically, this entails any kind of situation where your ex seems really affectionate or engaged with you one minute, only to suddenly become distant, uninterested, or downright rude the next minute. Now, sometimes this can be really painful because your ex will be very friendly and give you lots of hope, only to suddenly slam the door on you and crush that hope completely. So for example, I had a coaching client, we'll call her Sarah. She emailed me this morning about this exact type of situation. 2 nights ago, out of the blue, Sarah's ex-boyfriend texted her to say that he missed her like crazy. And the following morning, in the very next message he sent her, he actually said that he was done and didn't want to be texting with her anymore. Now, fast forward to this morning when he actually called her 3 separate times. Now, this is a great example of the hot and cold treatment. So what does this really mean? Why is your ex doing it? Is there anything you can do to prevent it? That's what I'm going to cover right here in this video. First, though, let me quickly mention that this type of behavior is very normal. Your ex isn't unique or psychopathic just because they're sending you mixed messages after a breakup. Usually this type of back and forth behavior is a result of your ex's own internal struggles. They've obviously decided, for whatever rational or logical reason, that they needed to end your relationship. But just because they've made the decision to break up doesn't mean that your ex isn't having second thoughts or struggling with the decision. In fact, they're probably just as heartbroken about the breakup as you are, and just like you, they're on a bit of an emotional roller coaster ride. I mean, I'm sure you've had your ups and downs since the breakup as well, right? When you're out with friends having fun, or when you're busy working on a project at work, everything seems okay, right? You're not crying or sitting around thinking about how much life sucks. But a few hours later, when you're alone at home and your friends aren't around to distract you, those emotions can sometimes come flooding back. And all of a sudden, you feel the heartbreak and the loneliness again. Your ex is experiencing the same emotional roller coaster ride that you are. One minute they're feeling confident about their decision to break up with you because life is going well, or they're distracted, or they're not feeling those breakup emotions. And the next minute, just like you, they're alone and they're missing you like crazy. And they cave into those emotions and pick up their phone to call you or send a text. So keep in mind that your ex is probably struggling with their decision to break up with you. Their head says it's the right choice, but their heart says that they should get back together so that their pain will disappear. If you've ever dumped someone before yourself, then you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. The heartache that you feel after breaking up with someone can often cause you to give in to the temptation and take them back, even when you may logically believe that's the wrong decision. When your ex is going through these same emotions, they're usually going to have enough self-restraint to resist the temptation to run over to your house and ask to get back together. But they may not be able to stop themselves from, texting you to say that they miss you, or calling you to chat because they're lonely, or even outwardly sharing their feelings of doubt about the decision to break up. But on the other hand, when they're feeling particularly upbeat or they're busy and distracted, then they're not going to be feeling those downer emotions, and they're more likely to ignore your calls or say something that gives the impression that there's no hope of ever getting back together. So picture a scenario where your ex is hanging out with a friend talking about the breakup, explaining to their friend that they're heartbroken and wondering if breaking up was the right decision. Their friend reminds them of the negative aspects of your relationship, brings up a few of your negative traits, and boom, all of a sudden, your ex is now feeling much more confident about breaking up and isn't really missing you at all. At this point, they might grab their phone and send you a text saying, we're done. I can't have you in my life anymore. But then an hour later, after their friend has gone home, they have time to look at those old pictures of the two of you together, reminisce on some of your happy times together, and now, they're not so sure anymore. They miss you. They pull out their phone and text you to say, actually, I kind of miss you. Are you around? Can I call you? And this is where this type of hot and cold treatment comes from. It typically comes from your ex's own emotional roller coaster ride and their internal struggles over whether breaking up was the right choice. Now, obviously, if you're trying to rekindle things with your ex, then the fact that your ex is struggling with the decision to break up really is good news. When he or she tells you that they miss you or seems to be particularly affectionate on a particular day, those feelings are usually real. But the problem is that your ex can usually quash those feelings with the rational belief that breaking up was the right decision. Taking advantage of your ex's uneasiness and uncertainty about the decision to end your relationship is a key component of my X Factor program. So if your ex is sending you mixed messages, then head over to breakupbrad.com and check out my full free video presentation. In it, I talk more about how to overpower your ex's logical, rational thinking and tap into their emotions, hopefully leading them to cave in and ask you to get back together and give the relationship another shot. Again, the address where you can watch my full tutorial is breakupbrad.com. Now, there's actually a second reason why your ex might be giving you the hot and cold treatment. And it's a bit of a selfish reason, unfortunately. The mixed messages they're sending to you could be because they want to keep you around as a plan B in case they don't enjoy being single or they can't find someone new to replace you. So if your ex was the one to initiate the breakup and he or she still knows that you still want to be together, then they hold all the power, right? So they may send you a series of confusing hot and cold messages that leave you thinking there's still hope of getting back together to kind of string you along and keep you as their backup plan. Basically, they get to test the waters and see what being single is like while they pursue other romantic options. Occasionally sending you affectionate messages or signals to make sure that you don't lose hope and move on. Now, this is obviously a bit devious of your ex to play this kind of game and toy with your emotions just so that they can keep their options open. But it's not always a conscious choice. Sometimes they don't really realize how devious they're really being by playing this kind of game with you. So whether or not it's something they're doing intentionally, if you do want to get back together with your ex, then you absolutely cannot let yourself fall into this trap and allow yourself to become your ex's plan B option. It's very dangerous to hand over all of the power and let your ex have total control. At least it is if you still want them back. So to find out whether you still have a chance at getting back together or whether it's just time to give up and move on, please take a few minutes and complete my free quiz at breakupbrad.com/quiz. Now the quiz will tell you whether you still have a chance, and it will also give you some personalized recommendations on how to move forward and maximize your chances of getting them back. So that's it for this video, folks. I hope you found it helpful. Please show me some love by subscribing to my channel here on YouTube. And as always, leave your comments and questions below the video so that I can get back to you personally. Love hearing from you guys, so don't be shy, leave a comment. Thanks for watching. See you next time.